Molly O'Callaghan and Ariane Titmus to bring it home in the final of the women's 4x200 freestyle relay. Scotland, England, Canada, Australia and South Africa. So 2 gold medals on the night for the Aussies, and we're hoping, Annabelle, for one more.
We certainly are. We won silver at the world title recently and bronze in Tokyo last year. We don't want to say it will be comfortable, but I like what Kate said about 8 from 8. That sounds good to me. I agree, Kate. It's much more stressful when you're not racing, watching on.
Well, you lose that sense of control that you may have otherwise when you are in the water and you feel as though you have this sense of control because you know the work that you've put into it. But when we watch the other athletes, you feel each stroke, you try and correct what might be right, and as the Australian team walks out, there may not be an Emma McKeon in there, but there are 4 incredible women that will do an exceptional job in this race up against Canada. Canada has performed very well in this race. Again, we're seeing Summer McIntosh, the young 15-year-old who's been an absolute sensation, not only at these games, but even before it, breaking records left, right and centre.
Big program for her.
She's amazing. She just a world champion at the age of 15. She won the 200 butterfly and the 400 individual medley recently, on form here as well. But how about the depth of Australian women's middle distance racing? Pretty extraordinary. As we see Maddie Wilson, who will lead off the team. She is such an incredible contributor to our relay teams.
And consistently, whether it's in the 200 or one of the 4x100 relays, she is there. And, you know, one of our, a very reliable swimmer in the relays and really is able to bring it home or deliver the lead that we need in that first leg.
Australia going for 5 in a row here. Women's 4x200 freestyle relay. We've won every time since 2006. And it is a big team changeover from 2018. Emma McKeon, Brianna Throssell, Leah Neal and Ariane Titmus. Only Arnie remains in this final. Maddie Wilson in the water first. It'll be Kia Melverton, Molly O'Callaghan and Arnie to bring it home. Summer McIntosh in the water for Canada. We know what an accomplished swimmer she is already at such a young age. Still in the middle of her teens and has so much growth and potential still. Become, we know, Canada with an early lead, Australia second and England in 3rd place with Freya Colbert in lane 3.
And Maddie doing a great job here. She's really putting it to Summer McIntosh. You can see Summer McIntosh's hands are slightly, her fingers are slightly apart. People might wonder why that is. The water actually binds. If there's just a minimal distance between the fingers, you can catch more water. It increases the surface area.
Maddie Wilson is doing a good job and got an excellent turn and goes up right on the shoulder of Summer McIntosh, virtually stroke for stroke, just kicks away again a little bit, the young Canadian.
She seems to be making a bit of ground, Summer McIntosh, off the turns, and Maddie comes back at her through the course of the 50.
And Freya Colbert doing a good job of keeping pace as well. So it's lanes 4, 5 and 3, Canada, Australia and England again. A very good turn. What we've seen typically is McIntosh strong through the middle stages of each lap. And the turns have been excellent from Maddie Wilson. Again, it's back out to half a body length. So probably will remain around there after the first swimmers. McIntosh to hand over to Ella Jansen of Canada in lane 4. And Kia Melverton of Australia in the water now for the Aussies.
A great changeover. We want to make sure the changeovers are fast but safe. Want to make sure that the athlete leaving the block doesn't leave before the swimmer coming in has touched on the wall. But these relays come down to such small margins, so making sure the handovers are quick is also very important. 0.92 separating Canada and Australia. Kia Melverton doing a brilliant job here. She's making ground on Ella Jansen. Really nice, smooth stroke. She's got a strong 6-beat kick, beautiful rhythm.
So the lead may change here at this 100-meter mark.
She's eyeballing as they come down to the second 100.
There we go. Australia's back in the lead, or in the lead.
So Australia, Canada and South Africa. A little change in the order there.
And in the final 50 of this 200, Kia will be breathing towards the Canadian swimmer, which will give her an advantage. She'll be able to see where she is in comparison to her. By contrast, the Canadian will be looking away. But it looks like Kia Melverton is putting a little bit of a lead on now.
She is Kia Melverton. You can see her strokes a little bit more open. Her shoulders are more relaxed as she's swimming, which means that you have more rotation in the stroke in comparing to someone. You know, when we look at Ella Jansen from Canada, a little bit tighter, which means that her body's moving around a little bit more to try and get some of that. And also her hands are open when she's trying to pull through the water with her thumb out, which isn't always the right way to go about it. But watch this changeover.
Excellent job by Kia Melverton. Hands over to Molly O'Callaghan. So Australia first, Canada second. And in third spot, it's South Africa in lane 6, England in fourth, and Scotland far left of screen towards the top. When we get a wider picture, Scotland in lane 2, currently sitting in fifth spot. So Molly O'Callaghan in the water for Australia, looking to perhaps extend this lead. It's at about a body length at the moment, leading over the Canadian alongside her, Mary Sophie Harvey. Erin Gallagher in the water for South Africa in lane 6, currently in third spot.
She's got great underwater work, Molly. You see, off these turns, she almost makes it to 15 metres, really dynamic through the hips. That's where you are the fastest through the course of the race, so she really tries to maximise that. You can see the water flowing around her really smoothly. She's cutting through really nicely, such a smooth, even technique.
Great underwater work, as you said, Annie. She comes up at about 10 metres here, coming into this third 50, backing off a little bit in that second 50 so that she can conserve to be able to put through what will be a great second end or second half to this race. First 50, she would have gone through reasonably comfortable, knowing what she can do in 100 in the shorter races.
The 200, as you say, it's a sprint, but you've got to conserve energy. If you go out too hard, if you overkick your legs, you produce too much lactic acid in the quads, and you can't bring it home in the final 50.
Crowd getting involved now too. England lifting through Abbey Wood. They're into third position, but it's still Australia out in front. There's a good look at the lead. Australia won. Sitting in second spot, Canada. Arnie ready to go, poised and in the water now. Australia first with 200 metres left to swim, and the final swimmer in the water. Lane 4, Canada second, and England are going to be ahead of South Africa in third spot for the final swimmer in.
I will say Ariarne Titmus has, you know, a great lead to go off here. It was actually a hard changeover for Ariarne Titmus to go off, and it's timing when someone touches the wall for your toe to still be on the blocks. And because it wasn't on a full stroke, Ariarne had to actually time this to go in at the right time. And so when we look at the changeover for Ariarne, it was 0.31 of a second, which is about average, but she had to modify the start in itself.
Lead's getting bigger for Australia. Arnie in the office, where she loves to be. Great distance for her. It's a commanding lead now. Australia with that gap that we can see on screen. Second spot currently.
And they're just outside of world record pace at this stage with 100 metres to go.
We can see Dean Boxall.
He's getting excited.
Made his way down under pool deck. He was trying to contain himself there through the first half of this leg from Arnie. He was getting excited when Molly was in the pool, and Arnie's bringing in the big 6-beat kick now.
So there's the lead, Australia and Canada. Arnie out in front. Last turn for her, 750 down, 50 to go.
Under world record pace at this stage. What can Arnie do in the last 50 metres?
So it's a world record that's held by China. It was set in Tokyo back in 2021, just over 12 months ago. Ariane Titmus under the world record line. Australia going for 5 in a row. We've won it every time since 2006. Arnie part of the title defence and breaks the world record. Australia, what a magnificent performance. One of the best team performances at these games.
Extraordinary. Oh my goodness. How amazing. Congratulations to these 4 women. Just remarkable.
Ariane Titmus's split there was 152.82, which was 2 seconds faster than Molly Callahan's, which is 154.80, which was that was a great time in itself. Yes. 152.82 is mind-blowing. So when we usually convert them over to compare them to times when you're doing your own race, it's about 0.6 of a second that we add to that time, which would be 153.40.
Because they get the fly start.
That's exactly right. So that there's a benefit to do that. And Australia just won that by more than 12 seconds, which is, it really is extraordinary. And you spoke about earlier, Annie, the depth that we have in middle distance swimming, but also in sprint. But let's go over and enjoy this vision, enjoy the women celebrating what is a great swim.
Good job, all right, world record. Can't get a better job than that, can you? Maddie Wilson, Kia Melverton, Molly O'Callaghan and Ariane Titmus. Canada second, England third.
And as you say, Thorpe winning by 12 seconds. I have memories of you winning by 12 seconds.